My name is Jane Nordstrom, and I board, train horses, teach lessons, and I've been doing this for longer than I care to admit, but over 40 years. Well, my first impression was that I was absolutely fascinated with it. In college, I majored in cultural anthropology, so I looked at it from the point of view of folklore and mythology, and was fascinated by the symbolism that was contained in these videos. And why were they done? Who were they for? So it was just very interesting, a little over the top. I was also very interested to see how Kim Jong-un rode and what he was trying to do with his riding. The horses are a breed called Orlov Trotter. They were originated in Russia during the reign of Catherine the Great. And the breeding was overseen by a Count Orlov, who was one of Catherine the Great's favorites. And he was trying to create a horse that was more suitable in its abilities to the Russian climate, resistant to cold in particular, strong enough to get through muddy roads. Well, we see horses here in the Northern Virginia area who are competition horses, and they can run well up into six figures. I know of several horses up in the Aldi-Middleburg area that they're asking $250,000 for. These are competition horses. So the breed itself is not a particularly popular one. It has limited use, and we don't find it in the United States, so its value in the international market is actually kind of low. Well, my first impression is that he was trying to emulate John Wayne. And that's the truth, and other American movie stars who made westerns in the mid-20th century, because he's sitting up very straight, he's sitting very deep in the saddle, and he's galloping through. In part of the videos, he's holding the reins in a western style in one hand, and it seems to me like he's trying to establish an image of masculinity and health and leadership. And the color of the horse that he's riding, the type of horse, he's saying that he's meant to lead the Korean people, meant to be a leader by divine right, and that he is going up to these rides on Mount Petka until, before he makes major decisions and announcements. That also says, I'm ruling by divine right. In mythology, there are horses in the East which have a mythical status. There's one in North Korea where I think it's used as a national symbol, a flying horse. Asian culture, it's the white horses that have this symbol of divinity. The Mongols, in particular, who bred millions of horses, they held white horses in very high regard. They were sacred. So there's this image that he's trying to create of his sacred right to rule. It takes years, actually. It takes years. We don't know what his starting point was, although from the style in which he's riding, I would suspect he started learning how to ride when he was a student in Switzerland. That would be my suspicion, that he had some riding introduction at that point in his life. And then later on, he came back to it. The story that I saw about it was that they had imported in 2020 30 horses, 14 stallions, 15 mares, and 1 gelding. The gelding would be a riding horse, just for the pleasure and exercise of the rider, or a gift because they're not allowed to import luxury goods anymore, but livestock is exempt from that. So a nice horse, great gift. But the importation of the mares is something that would indicate strongly that there is a breeding program that they are implementing. Horses adapt pretty well. because for them, a breeding program is not about the money. It's about the prestige. Accounts vary, but there are only 11, possibly 15 breeding barns in the world right now that breed these Orloff trotters. Out of the 11 that I know of, there are 8 in Russia and 3 in the Ukraine. There's 1 in Nova Scotia, and now there's going to be, it looks like there will be some in Korea.